Okay, onward we go. I correct some mistakes I made with the lines. I first had on the first plot point I had to stop. I should have stopped at the first location because the other things are things after a location. This was the first location, so this did not happen yet. And for the third plot point, I wrote down the wrong value. After the event, you go to the cell on the right, and here I found out that you had to increase variable a with +2, and then go to the thing on the right. That is plot point to TL. Never mind that, because we now have ship construction. We did this, activate lines. Step 2 of game phase is ship construction. Step 3 is initiate a space flight, land at the previously discovered location, or activate a line again. I'm not going to activate the line again because that's not instructional. I cannot go to a previously discovered location, so I'm going to initiate a space flight. This is also new for me. We're going to fly far, far away. Initiate space flight. Initiate space flight. Okay. This is section 9, page 60. The rules are found at the initiate spaceflight sheet on the right side near the space combat sheet. This rule section, you find an overview of the spaceflight. What you do is you choose a region. You can then choose the type of flight. You can make it harder or extra easy, and the idea. So we have to choose between other regions, Kraken star system, core planets, and then the location difficulty. Okay. How about let's not jump ahead and choose other regions. Choose and then roll a d6 to determine the location difficulty. Okay. Now, that was a 3. And then your flight difficulty is then initiated with the same value as the location difficulty. Okay. So we have region, other, location difficulty LD. I mean, why not? Is 3. And the flight difficulty is also 3. But then might be modified during the following steps. The location difficulty will stay the same in any case. Type of flight: normal, extended, deep flights, perfect flights. Normal is unmodified, extended is +2, but I can reroll 2 dice rolls at the location generator. Exception map number rolls, but the location is a selection of maps. So what can I reroll then? More influence on the type of location. Okay, so you have more influence on the type. Okay. If you need to find a planet with a specific enemy race in order to resolve a quest, no. And so we just keep it normal. extra options. You can choose one extra option on the list you find at the initiate spaceflight sheet. So I really need to find the initiate spaceflight sheet then. Okay, then I would think it would be here, perhaps. Which one should be the... something like this. This one is combat. These are enemies. What is the spaceflight sheet? These are rules. So you would say, why don't you look at the index? Well, the index has the problem that it does not... This teaser should have all this text with features and stuff. It should be removed because you already bought a game, so you don't need a teaser, you don't need the features, and instead here on the very first page, this is the place where you go to find for every alphabetically sorted term what page it is on. What were we looking for? Initiate spaceflight sheet. Could it be then here? Hey, look what we got. Okay, so this initiate spaceflight sheet. Let me put this away for a while. And the initiate spaceflight sheet first says choose a region. Choose the region where you want to target your spaceflight at, and roll a die to determine the difficulty. Difficulty is 3. All the regions, location difficulty on a 1 to 3 is 1, and on 4 to 6 is 2. Damn it. So it is a 1. Marcus, why don't you just be complete? Say, remove this crap and put it just a reference to page number 86. Then there's a complete garble of spaceships and stuff. This is for spaceflight if it gets triggered. But we are not there yet. So the difficulty is 1. Your flight gets initiated with location difficulty as before. And then normal flight, everything as usual. You can discover and land at a new location. Okay, choose an extra option. Safe and sound, pay a smuggler, smuggle goods. So I could also lower the difficulty by 2, but the minimum is 1. And pay a smuggler 5 gold credits to reduce by 1 point. And you can do that multiple times, so you could go into -1. It should be there should be a lower bound on pay a smuggler as well. Smuggle goods. If the flight was a success, you get 10C, flight difficulty +2. Check if space combat gets triggered. Now, I'm not in the mood for space combat, so I just keep it as 1. And then roll a d6 against the flight difficulty. Except standard probes, you must roll higher than this. Okay. And I roll 1. If you fail, a combat is triggered. Okay. It seems that fate wants me to really do the space combat. Fine then. Yeah, because 1 is equal and not higher than 1. If so, roll a d6 and add 2 times the space difficulty. Okay, so it's a 6 plus 2 times 2, plus 1 times 2 is 8. Start the corresponding space combat. All shields are fully charged at the first turn. If you solve the combat, you gain experience points as shown under XP. Oh my god. So, let's say CD combat difficulty is 8, okay? Now, that is a dam destroyer. That found us. 1S timeline. S minus 6 4. What is this? Let's see. Initiate space flights. Okay, so it seems. Yeah, you have the space flight here. These are the stats, and this is the current situation. Let me make it a little bit bigger. This is the stuff that I haven't prepared. Okay. So then we have the space combat rules. This sounds very difficult, but let's do them step by step. 1. Handle the timeline. Activate the leftmost timeline command, then cross it out. If it's empty, nothing special happens. No. Timeline is, in our case, S. So for the S, shields of all enemies are down this turn and also will not recharge. Okay, so it's an unsuspecting dam destroyer. And at the next turn they are back like they were loaded before. Okay, they are charging their shields. Fine. So handle the timeline. I guess this would be an S then. Oh, wait. Maybe there are more of these ships. Because it was S minus minus S. So I think there are 4 destroyers. Minus minus S. Then objectives, I think. Oh, the flight type. What we need to flight type is dam destroyer. Why would I write this? Flight XP. XP. Okay, so this is the XP for a dam destroyer. It would be 7. I really would prefer to reorder these tables. And location difficulty is well, it is. I wrote a 3, but location difficulty was 1. So this is 1. Flight difficulty was the same. Yeah. Then what? Solving objectives and repair. I think, yeah, because the other things are for. Well, there's no minus, so only the S things do stuff. Solving objectives and repair. If there are objectives defined, finish them from left to right. If all of them are solved, the space combat ends at the turn's end. Mark all crew members who participated into these actions as used and only their skill levels. Use only their skill levels. A9 is attack, T9 is a attack roll, H3 is a hit. You need as many hits as the number states. Less will do not even weaken it. Then there is repair. Okay. So where are the objectives? For solve objectives and repair. I think this is the column. Oh yeah, I see now. This column is objectives. For Dem Destroyer there are no objectives. If there are objectives, okay, so they are not. Then pilot your ship. Use 1 or 2 crew members to pilot your ship and evade enemy fire that way. Roll 1d6 for 1 or 2d. Roll 1d6 for 1 or 2d6 for 2 crew members, and also add their tech level. Divide it by 5, round it up, and you avoid the hits automatically during this turn. Okay. Let's see what we have. So yeah, but I mean it would be like so. It would cover the heroes. Okay. So I would go with 2d6 for 2. And that's 2 and a 4. Also at their tech level. So to the 6 tech level. Oh yeah, so it's this value here, 3 and 4. Jessica and Mila have the highest, so it's 7 plus 6 is 13. Divide by 5, round it up, 13, so 22.6. Round it up, it's 3. And you avoid the hits automatically during this turn. But is there no value to roll against, or? No, well. And you avoid the hits automatically this turn. Fine, I avoid them. So that was step 3. Define your targets. Define which weapons get fired and choose a target, if you have a target system, choose multiple targets. Well, that's very simple. I only have a laser and it does 1 damage. I mean, that's what we had last time. Okay, so laser. Okay, that's nice. This part remains visible while we keep flipping this, but you don't really need this, I think. Only if combat gets triggered. Okay, so the ES1, ES2, ES3, ES4, ES5, ES6, and for the Dem Destroyer would be 646553. What is the ES1? I think it's the enemy ship or something. So the targets, yeah, that's the Dem Destroyer, the first one. Then fire weapons. Define your targets, fire weapons, enemy fire weapons. Handle the weapons in any order you wish. Lower the ammo by 1 if there is an ammo defined. No, it's not for lasers, I think. For each. Otherwise it's unlimited. For each weapon roll as many dice as the weapon damage level shows. weapons demo level demo weapons damage level is 1, so I roll 1d6. Of course I won. And then any die showing a 4+ is a hit. So okay, so I missed. If you have a combat bridge, no. Weapon types, EMP, high explosives, OC. No, it's nothing of that type. I mean, yeah. So now enemy fire. So here enemy fire. Oh wait, is this enemy crew perhaps? Yeah, I think this is enemy crew. Okay, enemy fire. Roll as many dice as stated in all enemy weapons slots. Enemy weapon slots. Enemy fire. Enemy weapons. I guess that my ship has HP. And their ships have HP, and I think it is 2. Why isn't it as... So is it... I don't understand it. Okay. Fire weapons, enemy fire 6. Is there a 6 here? No. It's... shield? It's their shield, I guess? All enemy weapon slots together. Enemy weapon slots. 6, 4, 6, 5, 5, or 3. 6, 4, 6, 5, 5. So would it be 6, 4, 6, 5, 5, 3? But are these 2 ships then? This is nonsense. You can now, and then reduce your shields after. So I have shields, yeah, I do. I have light shields, 4 initial, and they charge with 2. This is shields, and this is charge shields. I think I just have to write here 4. Weapons, ammo, stay around me, strength, range, and melee, divided by 4. I'm not going to do space combat rules. This is yeah, completely illegible. I mean, how do you make from this crew A, B, M, HP, crew A, B? What is BM? HP, okay. So maybe 6 enemy slots. So say this is an enemy slot, and then I have 6. 4, 6, 5, 5. 4, 6, 5, 5. And then a 3. So where do I put a 3 then? Here. And the second one is 4. 0, 5, 3, 2. 0, 5, 3, 2. And 1. And then what? I don't understand this. Or maybe it will be this one. Yeah, because they do correspond, so it would be like this. 5, 3, 2, 1. Sorry. I really should go to Marcus with this, because it's completely beyond me to perform a space flight. So let's suppose we fail or something. Then I'll continue with the phases. So that was my own action. I don't visit the shop. I do no quest timer, recovery phase. There's no recovery here because I'm fully healed. So that was a completion of a turn. Bye.